YouTube, another reaction day, another reaction video. So tutaongeza hapa tu thoughts twetu and then kwa comment uniambie pia your thoughts. So hope you enjoy the video.
There is a group of women, okay? So they are between the ages of 40 and 50. These women have a lot of property. They have a lot of good things happening to them in terms of material things, okay? They drive big cars and, okay, there are some you'll find driving Harriers, okay? So the problem is these women, with all their success in their 40s, they missed one thing. They either got children very early, okay, and the baby daddy fled. He disappeared. He pulled a disappearing act, right?
You know, the baby daddy is a magician. Alimwambia like, hey, let me show you a magic trick. Boom, gets her pregnant. And then he does the main event. I'm disappearing. Kasha. And that's how magic is done.
Or they didn't get into any sort of loving relationship. They worked so hard to get to where they are career-wise. They did not get into any relationships. They did not, they did not get into any serious relationships because they felt this is a distraction. The third is they were married once. The marriage was brutally bad. It really affected them, and they didn't get the love they deserved. Those are the three things you'll find these women have gone through. And after that, they reach their 40s or their late 40s, and they get themselves a young boy. Someone who's between the age of 20 and 28 becomes their lover. You're headed to 50, the boy is 25, the same age as that son that this woman got when she was in her 20s. So you sit down, and your son or your daughter, who's around 24, 23 at the time, doesn't even know how to relate to this boyfriend of yours. So let's talk about this real quick. Number one.
Baby, the daughter or the son doesn't need to relate to me. He doesn't need to. Men enjoy life. Okay, obviously these are jokes, but men enjoy life. Imagine, as a young dude on a struggle, getting a mumamas, getting a hot mumamas, anakupatia everything you want, but the sad reality is they're always controlling. Wamamas huko nje wako controlling. It kind of sucks. Na hiyo kuzundanda kujua uko wapi unafanya nini. Inabo. Kai ni mama huko nje tafadhali, and you have a young kid. Not a young kid, but a young guy. Mpatie freedom. Like, it sucks. It sucks kuwa tied down. It sucks I don't know why y'all do that. But in a bow. But I forgot nilikuwa nataka kusema. Let's continue the video.
Number one, there is no day a young man is ever going to love an older woman for anything but the money.
Of course. It's always about the money. And then kuna kitu nitangwa kuna kitu naitangwa, the older the berry, the sweeter the juice. Mi amore. Tena skills ziko hapo. You do not know the amount of skills, the amount of self-awareness and these older women have. Ni venye tu wako controlling, hapo tu ndo the bad side of it. But everything else, mapenzi si lazima kwa hii dunia.
Okay, I am standing right here and I'm waiting. I want someone to come through and tell me that this was a marriage based on love, and the woman who was between 40 and 50, she was broke, and this young man was with her because he loved her. I want to see that. I want to see it. Any man who's between 20 and 25 who is dating a 40 plus year old woman is after your money. There's nothing else. Okay. Number two, when you've reached the ages of 40 to 50, okay, and you feel like lonely and you want to be with someone and you're single, the best thing is to find someone who's in a situation like you. The best.
that is why they are single and lonely because wame deal with someone like them. Now this is the other side of hii mambo yenye the sad reality ni you cannot, how do I say it, manzi yako in a late 40s hakuna venye atenda with a dude mwenye ako in his late 40s and they match together well. That's a rare thing to find unless both of them wako like, let's say, stay together for the convenience of it, not for the sake of tunapendana. It's for the convenience of nisaki kuwa lonely and nini. But possibly someone told me the wanawake wakifika in their 40s libido inakuwa higher, so there's no way that dude anaweza kumsatisfy the libido yake unless he's a gym dude, which one anakonga more fit na watalast longer. But
the best thing is to find someone who's in a situation like you. It has to be someone who is divorced if you're divorced. It has to be someone who has kids if you have kids. It has to be someone who's been single all their lives if you've been single all your life. Get someone who's at the same level age-wise and situation-wise. You cannot...
Okay, she makes sense but 50% sense. Hii ni kama kuambia mtu like, hey, since umetoka kwa relationship and you are freshly heartbroken, search for someone who's freshly heartbroken and then muanzisha relationship. It will never work. It won't. Hata itakuwa the most dangerous thing you can do, because both of you are broken, and even your kind of, she's suggesting penye two broken people mukuje pamoja museme let's form a relationship for the convenience of it. It'll never work. But obviously kuna kwanga na wanitangu aje the exception to the rule, and those are the different ones. Na kuwezi kosa.
Go with all those 3 children that you got from your previous marriage, and then you look for a boy in campus. What are you looking for there? Apart from whatever that can be done in the sheets. And this is we are speaking life things here. We are speaking things that are happening. Apart from what can be done for you in the sheets, what else are you looking for? What makes you think that small boy loves you? And I know there are people who are going to come here in the comments, people who are willing to actually agree that this is who they are. I don't use the actual word for TikTok purposes, but listen, you're going to come here and you're going to tell us, you know, mimi wangu nini hivi, mimi wangu kwangu kunaenda hivi. You'll come and tell us all sorts of excuses for why you're doing what you're doing. But I'm telling you, you are wrong. You are wrong. I'm going to tell you that there's a very big difference between a woman who decides to date a young, not younger. By younger, it could be you are 48 and your husband is 46. You guys are age mates. Or you're 48 and your husband is 47. You guys are age mates. I'm talking about younger in terms of 20s. There's a very big difference between a woman who's dating a younger man and a man who's dating a younger woman. I promise you there's a very big difference. Because yes, when it comes to most women who come after men for money, you need to understand that a lot of women out here who are dedicating their lives to these old men, okay? And I'm not talking about polygamy. I'm not talking about you found a house that's already established. That man has a wife and children, and then you as a 21-year-old, you come in and you become the man's mistress or second wife or side chick or whatever it is you want to tell yourself you are. I'm talking about you found a single man and you are in your 20s and this man is in his 40s. It's very different. It's very different from a woman doing this. Now listen, I'm not being sexist. I'm not.
Is there a difference really, apart from the gender? I think it's just the same thing. Cause one gender inatafuta the youth, like the beauty, the youth, the energy, a young chick, they could look like you still got it in your old age. Obviously anatumia pesa, but and then the female either anatafuta love from those young dudes, ndo maana wanakuwa attached easily, ndo maana wanakuwa controlling, or wanatafuta just a young stallion dude mwenye who can, you know, rock her world in the sheets, nini anamfanya ana squat hivi, anamfanya she comes a lot, anamfanya all these extra things, mnaenda kinky, freaky, and yet that whole generation, they don't wanna do, they didn't wanna do, and they still wanaonanga vitu kinky ni ufala, doing it with the wife, but they can do it with girlfriends and in vitu zote. But is it really different?
Being, you know, I'm not being misogynistic as a woman. I am just telling you facts. I know of a woman, okay? I know.
The problem is facts zinakwanga misogynistic. That is the sad reality. Ukileta facts, a lot of facts zinakwanga misogynistic. And that's why misogyny inakwanga hand in hand with the harsh reality.
Of a woman, she had all her life savings. She had saved up and she was even ready for pension. She was in her 50s, okay? She was in her 50s, she was ready for pension. She was in a place where she was like, you know what? The only thing I don't have is a romantic affiliation with another human being. So she decided, why not find a young boy? You know, young men are charismatic, not like these old men that are around me, they're tired. I want a man who's charismatic. Why? They look for charismatic men because all through their childhood they did not have that charisma in between the sheets. They did not have it in between the sheets from a marriage, a fulfilling marriage, or from any sort of relationship that they were in. So now they're looking for it, okay? And mark my words, they always end up looking for it. So this woman comes and she starts a relationship with someone. She ends up marrying. Trust me, these men are going to do anything this woman wants. Men between the age of 20 and 28 who are true hustlers, who have no money, they will do whatever it takes to make that woman happy, because they know that everything, the car they are driving, the big house they have, you know, the way they are flexing to their friends, that woman is responsible. So this woman comes and she's doing all this. She had children. This woman had children, okay? I'm not going to say how I knew her or whatever. I don't like to give stories obviously in a way that it will be known who it was. This person had children, a whole lot of children, like 3 of them, and she had already written her will. And you know that by the time she was in her late 50s, this man had, there was a word we used to use, kitambo. I'm so afraid of using it on TikTok. I'm so scared of using it, but I wish I could. This woman was so sprung, let me use the word sprung, because of this young dude. God knows what kind of things he was doing to her. She was so sprung that by the time she was reaching 60 years old, okay? By the time she was reaching...
I'm sprung, won't forget me, got me doing things you'll never do, do you. Don't forget me. She had changed her entire, you know, everything had changed. Her entire will had changed. And we are not talking about Kenya. You know, Kenya, that won't work. The Kenyan law, beneficiaries first are the children. We are talking about something that happened abroad. So this person had changed the entire will and had given it to this young man. Her children were left like that. Why? Because of what was done between the sheets. Now listen. If you're above 40, if you're above 45, and you've never had a fulfilling relationship ever, like all your life it has been one bad mistake to the next, or you have never even had any sort of relationship, you've been like that. That success that you've worked hard for, especially if you have children, that success you've worked hard for, okay? Remember that your children are first priority. Remember that your needs no longer count after 40. Okay, unless you're actually married. After 40, the dating world, all you're finding there in the dating world, and this is a topic we need to talk about more. All you're finding now in the dating world are people who are divorcees, who are cheats, divorcees who used to batter their wives, men who every woman has rejected. It is like going to a dustbin and looking for things to eat after people have eaten. You've left, a hotel has thrown away food, and now there you are. God damn. Yeah, it makes sense. Mbona ame switch off the comments. The comments are turned off. That is pure harsh misogyny, calling women trash. But at the same time, hiyo ni ukweli. Sadly that is the truth. But I don't know, mi nasemanga in this life, like she can say all of that, she can say like, oh, amekuwa na all this, but no matter sometimes hadi the red pill content, the Andrew Kibes wakisema like, oh, madem wanakanga at a certain age, like obviously ikifika kwa ku give birth, yeah, the older you get the more inakuwa harder for a woman. But at the obviously pia age, I don't know why kila mtu anasemanga like men age better. Bro, like men don't age better. Ukikuwa young you just look better. Ukikuwa older not every man nimepata huko nje huwa above 35 40, they are wise, they're just old. I don't know your concept inatokanga wapi. I don't know mbona wao wanasemanga like, oh, as time goes by wanaume wana grow much more, worth yao inakuwa bigger. No, your worth inakuanga depending on what your output. Your worth is your output, not your worth ni output yako na whatever you have in your bank account, na whatever properties, na whatever respect people have for you. How many men wanaweza ingia in the same place with more powerful women and the woman ndo anapata more respect than this dude? Ni because success na what they can provide. So mi naonanga hizi red pill content ni upuzi. Mi naonanga a lot of this feminist content ni upuzi pia. Both sides wanadanga like wanna live in this fantasy ya, oh, our gender is the strong one, okay, our gender is this, but the red pill content kidogo inakwanga more realistic, but pia wanaendanga overboard ya kujigas up so much. So that's why in both ways, in short, the older you get the more you trashy you become. It doesn't matter about the gender. Wanaume libido inashuka, you cannot last for long, unachoka haraka, ma joints nini gets bad. Wanawake the same. Anyway, nime spur some nonsense hapo, so hope you enjoyed the videos. Toodles.